Namaste. My name is Michael Stewart, and I'm going to speak about my experiences here in Querétaro at Poweroom. What I find every time I come here is that there's an evolution going on. It's with the studio, it's with the students that come to the studio. So this time what I noticed that the people who came to the workshops are more homegrown. So what I'm feeling with these students is that there's a familiarity with them, although I personally hadn't met most of them before. And I think the familiarity comes with the relationship I have with Susana and Angel, who teach most of these students. So I can feel that in them, although I've never met them personally myself. I think it has more to do with the fact that the people here are getting a direct transmission from me to you to them.
That's why she's saying, I have many friends who get attached to ashram systems because it looks just like the system they came from, but because it's yoga, they feel like, oh, I'm not in that system. You're still in a system. You're still trapped by the same dogmatic hierarchies. And that's what they do. Like, that's what she's done. She's replaced what caused all this trauma in her system by something else that will also cause trauma in her system. So we have to break her out of this.
So that's what I'm feeling. In fact, I encounter that in many places in the world where I teach somebody and then they continue to do the teachings. And when I return a year later, there are people I don't know, but they practice the way I would teach. So that's what I'm seeing.
Padma Anjali Mudra, Shri Mudra, Surya Mudra, Padma Mudra.
Take the right hand and you clasp the left hand, move it to your right.
Tomas tu mano derecha, presionas la izquierda, cierras tus dedos y los colocas en tu pierna derecha.
The right hand is on top.
La mano derecha está arriba.
Sankalpa Mudra is...
Yeah, what I feel is because naturally with my own evolution as a practitioner, as a teacher, I find that this time the teaching was more outside of the classroom. The teaching for Susana and Angel and the people close to the community was where the teaching really happened, in my opinion. So what that shows me is that in the future, when we continue this relationship, that will become more part of what the teaching's about. Having a workshop is great, but they get a tiny percentage of what's important to share. So there's more opportunity for satsang. Satsang is really where community is forming. Satsang is really an opportunity for the community to be in a place to ask questions that they couldn't ask anywhere else. Because this is where the answers for what we're looking at exist. Because if we have a practice of yoga or a spiritual practice and we try and question that with the world around us that has nothing to do with this, it's very, very hard to understand what is going on within us. So satsang is absolutely important for somebody's spiritual growth and personal development. To be able to sit with people who've been on the path for a little while, to be able to ask questions that nobody else can answer. So I think it's an invaluable part of the evolution of a studio, of somebody's personal practice.
So son dos formas de hacer la inhalación.
They both have different effects.
Las dos tienen diferentes efectos.
So we think that breathing is breathing, but in fact we find when we start to explore the practices of pranayama that just simply altering the way you breathe changes the effect that it has on your body and your mind.
Así que ahora con nosotros normalmente pensamos que respirar siempre ha sido de la misma forma, pero al momento de estudiar pranayama nos damos cuenta que hay diferentes aproximaciones a tu respiración que van a causar diferentes cosas en tu cuerpo, mentalmente y físicamente.
Yeah, I think the next natural evolution of this is my 4th year here. The next natural evolution is we move into a space that allows this kind of environment to be conducive. So I'm referring to retreats.
You can move your hips, you can move your
siempre y cuando provenga de la conexión que están teniendo ustedes dos.
Keep touching.
Aprende a tocar.
Don't talk.
No hables.
Retreats are the way to go, because then we're with each other for the whole time we're on retreat. Questions happen, answers are revealed. People have the opportunity to leave behind the life that they are accustomed to and dive into one that they're looking forward into. So I think this is the next evolution. Continuing workshops is great, but like I said, there's a tiny percentage of what can be offered that happens in the span of 2 hours or 3 hours. And then when somebody leaves the workshop, they have to return to whatever life they came from. So it takes a much longer time to absorb a teaching. But in a workshop situation, it's great because it's an introduction, but in a retreat situation, we really get to dive in and to be inside that space for some days. Yeah, I think the message is continue to attend. Continue to go and continue to explore the variety of offerings that Poweroom has to present there. Because in the variety is where you get the essence of everything. Because you know what I offer is Shanta Vira Yoga. Shanta Vira Yoga really is about an inclusiveness about all your experiences. So everything that Poweroom has to offer, because I know both these people very, very dearly to my heart, I know what they're offering. No matter what it says is on offer, I know what the essence of what they're offering is. So I think the message is just attend and do it frequently.